And there we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello everyone.
For today, well, we've got a big workout coming up. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to take a while. But before we get into that, tomorrow, holiday, so there's no YouTube at 5 o'clock, but the 7 o'clock in the morning Zoom session and 10 o'clock, they will stay. So you can find the schedule in the app, but don't expect YouTube tomorrow at 5. That's it. And then on to today. What do we need for today?
For today, we need strong arms because we have so many push-ups to go. I'm going to do the workout, so I'm so excited. Only 150 repetitions. So what you're going to need earlier, we have a handstand push-up technique. So depending your level, what you're going to use is either a pair of dumbbells or just a chair to step on with your legs, or a wall to do the actual strict handstand push-ups as planned. For the workout, you're going to need just an ab mat for the sit-ups and the push-ups variation that is going to come. That was it.
And with that, on to the intro. And we are back for the warm-up. We've got a few movements coming up. We'll just go through it together right away. All of those should be known. We're starting with the world's greatest stretch, some shoulder taps and the hollow hold. For the world's greatest stretch, feet under the hip. We're going to step forward with one foot. Let's take the left one. Both hands go inside the leg. Now, if your left leg is forward, your left hand is going to rotate through the armpit and then up towards the ceiling. What's important, your back knee is off the floor, so the back knee is not resting on the floor, the knee is off, and then we're following our hand with the eyes. After 5 rotations, step back into a plank and bring the right leg forward. From here, step back, right leg goes forward, and then the right arm is rotating through. From here, we're going to then go straight into a plank. So we're going to step back into a plank position and do 10 very slow shoulder taps. For the plank, tucking the hip in, so we're squeezing the butt cheeks and the abs. And then we're going to touch one shoulder. It doesn't matter if you're touching the same or on the other side, as long as you're doing it slow and with minimum movement in the hip. After those 10, we're going into the 30-second hollow hold. You can start the hollow hold in the tuck position. We're going to lie down on the floor. The lower back is on the floor. We're going to tuck the knees in towards the chest and the hands next to the hip. And we're just going to hold here. What's important, the lower back is on the floor, never leaving the floor. And we breathe. Don't forget to breathe. 30 seconds is very long. Didn't set the clock, but we're about 15 seconds in. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. We're going to go back to the world's greatest stretch. In the third round, we're going to make it a bit harder. For now, we'll leave it where it is. You can start in a plank. The left foot goes next to the hand, and then your left hand starts to rotate through the armpit up towards the ceiling. Doesn't need to be quick, we're just doing slow and controlled rotations. After 5, step back into the plank again and switch to the other foot. The back knee is still off the floor and we're supporting ourselves with the hand on the floor. From there into the plank, and then we're going to do 10 slow and controlled shoulder taps. And then into the 30-second hollow hold. Now we've got the clock on the screen as well. And there we go. Keeping the lower back on the floor. You can extend the legs outward. What's important, the toes are together and pointing forward. We're not pulling the toes towards the chest. We're stretching ourselves as long as we can, maintaining the lower back on the floor. We've got 10 seconds to go. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Then we're going to do one more round, the world's greatest stretch. Now, if you can start in the same plank position, bring the left leg forward. But now if you can, support yourself on the elbows. So we're going to bring everything down towards the floor and then rotate through again. Bringing that elbow down forces you to come deeper into the stretch in the hip. The movement on the upper body stays the same, but the hip is getting a much bigger stretch. If that's not possible, simply stay on the arm and repeat here. Then we're stepping back into the plank, come forward, bring the elbow to the floor, and we rotate through. On to the shoulder taps. We're doing them slow and controlled. We want to prepare the shoulders and the core for all the handstand work that's coming up. So do it slow. We're not in a rush. Good. And then on to the hollow body hold. There we go, 30 seconds from here. Two things we need to remember: keeping the lower back on the floor, and don't forget to breathe. It's all about the breathing. Don't hold your breath. That is not doable for 30 seconds. 10 seconds to go. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Then we're going to first show a couple of movements and the variations for today. What we have coming up is an overhead press, either with dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever you have at home, or body weight. So let's start with the weighted variation. If you don't have a handstand and you're not comfortable on your wrists, then we're going to do an overhead press seated. We're going to sit down on the floor. We're going to stretch out the legs in front. Preferably the knees are fully locked out, but only if your upper back and lower back are straight. If you don't have great hamstring mobility, it might be that you're rounding your back, then you can bend the knees just slightly. That allows you to come into a straight back position. From here, we're going to bring the weight, the dumbbells on the shoulder. Take a deep breath in, and then we're going to do 8 to 12 seated strict press. We're going to press straight up. Because we're seated, we cannot lean back. Makes it a bit harder, thank you very much. You can, of course, if you have one heavy dumbbell, do 8 left, 8 right. If you have some very light weights, go maybe for more repetitions. Or if you have, we can work on handstand push-ups, strict, no kipping today. The easiest variation of the handstand push-up would be a pike handstand push-up with your feet on the floor. You're going to basically start in a plank position. That's the easiest way to get into it. And then walk with your hands a little bit further towards your feet than in a plank. From here, we're going to then bring the head in front of the fingers on the floor. So we're going to shift the weights towards the fingers and then bring the head on the floor and press back up. Bring the head to the floor and press back up. The further you walk with your feet towards the hand or the other way, the smaller you make yourself, the harder it gets. There we go. So the closer you come, the harder it gets. If this variation is too easy for you, then you can place your feet on a box, a chair, or something like this. We're going to come into the same position. The hands are on the floor, just underneath the shoulders. The feet go up on the box. We want to have about a 90-degree angle at the hip, and then we're going to bring the head towards the floor and press back up. You can see in every repetition, Kat is looking at her toes. We're not staring at the floor. Your head is in a neutral position, and we press. As with every press, your elbows want to stay close to the body. No elbows coming up, pressing with the elbows pointing out. We're keeping the elbows close. If you can, if your shoulders are strong enough, you can also go for strict handstand push-ups on a wall. Same thing goes. The hands are going to be underneath the shoulders. You can point the fingers slightly out. I'm going to kick up into a handstand. And from here, we're going to bend the elbow, bring the head to the floor, and press back up. I'm going to give you a minute to play around with those variations. After each pressing variation, we're then going to do a side plank. For the side plank, we're going to come into a support position either on the hand or the elbow. One hand, 30 seconds. So we're going to have the clock running as we go along. What are you going to go with?
3 handstand push-ups.
Very good.
3 to 5, I think.
Exactly. So the numbers depend on you. If the movement is light and after 3 you feel like you actually didn't work, then please do more repetitions. If 3 feel like really heavy, maybe just do 2. Every rep wants to be pretty, every rep wants to be quick. Good. Then 3 rounds, 3 minutes, some pressing, 8 to 12 repetition, 3 to 8, depending on how heavy, and then some side planks coming up in 10 seconds. There we go. And starting here with the strict handstand push-ups. Easy work here. So what are we going to do while everybody else is pressing?
We'll wait until minute 2 and then we'll start with the side planks.
Good, I agree. So you've got another 30 seconds to finish your pressing variation, and then we'll go into the side plank.
Also, you need quite some rest between. You can hear the birds.
Good, and then we should be done with our repetitions. We're going to go into the side plank in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. 2 variations either on the hand or on the elbow. What we want to have is both feet on top of each other, so only one foot is touching the floor. The hip, the shoulders and ankles are in one straight line, and we're not allowing the hip to rotate. So you want to squeeze everything you have and not hang in. 10 seconds to go before we switch to the other side. We're going to go right away without rest in between. I'm going to switch in 3, 2, 1, and on to the other side right away. And there we go. Very good.
We have company.
Our birds are very much enjoying the good weather, it seems. Having a little party on our roof. I hope the sound is still okay. We still have 3, 2, 1, and rest. There we go. Good. In the next round, we're going to show a different pressing variation again. So maybe go with the seated dumbbell press just to see it again. So we can talk about what's important. 1 minute rest, and then we do it again. This is the relaxed part. If you're now thinking, my goodness, when are we finally working out? Don't despair. We've got work coming up. More than enough, to be honest. Slowly getting ready for round number 2. Depending on your variation, pick a number of reps that is heavy but doable with good form. For the seated press, for example, we're going to have the legs straight out in front, the back is straight, the elbows are supporting the weight, and we're looking straight forward. Very challenging in terms of mobility and, of course, in terms of strength. Good. I think 1 minute is enough to get all the pressing variations in. And when the clock hits 2 minutes, we're gonna go for our plank again. That is true, we'll talk about it in the next round. And there we go, on to the plank. 30 seconds each side. Try to look straight forward so that your head, hip, ankles are in one straight line. Don't relax anything you have, except for that arm that's up in the air. If you're now thinking this is way too easy, you can play around and lift the top leg off. Do it on one leg, makes it a whole lot harder, especially if you're on your hand. Oh, look at that. Good. We're gonna switch the sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. And there we go, right away. Okay, same starting position. And if you feel comfortable, then you can start playing around, lifting one leg up again. You might feel a difference left and right. And as always, don't forget to breathe. And then we're gonna rest in 3, 2, 1, and come down. Good. Now, you've got a minute rest. Use the time to go grab your phone and make a video of your handstand push-up variation. Why? Because we can't see it, but you might want to get feedback on it. So put it on Instagram, tag us at CrossFit Haarlem or one of the coaches, and we'll be happy to give you feedback on your form, or a simple well done if it's looking perfect. 30 seconds before we go into the last round. Let's do the pike push-ups this time.
Yeah.
Yes? They're really heavy. They sometimes feel heavier than the strict handstand push-ups. Requires a little bit more coordination because there's no wall to support you. Round number 3 coming up in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Showing here the pike push-up variation where the feet are on a elevated surface. We're gonna bring the head down, looking at the toes. So we're not staring at the ceiling, we're staring towards the toes. And we keep wrapping out until we feel a good burning sensation in the shoulder and the triceps. Very good. I saw some shaking.
Yeah,
they're heavy.
They're actually hard.
They're actually hard. That is very true. Good. 20 seconds before we then go into the planking again. So plenty of variations today for the pressing strength. Getting ready for the last round of planks in 5, in 3, 2, 1, and let's plank. "20 seconds in, 10 seconds to go. In 3, 2, 1, and switch to the other side. And there we go, another 30 seconds. I sometimes can't believe how professional those videos look. Thinking about 4 weeks ago, we didn't know anything about how to make YouTube videos, and by now this looks really professional. Very happy to be part of this. 10 seconds to go. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, we're gonna keep the clock running in case you started a little bit later. The clock is on the screen. I think another 20 seconds and then everybody should be finished with their variation of the plank. If you're done already, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself maybe a yoga mat if you have, and get your equipment ready. What you need is an ab mat. If you don't have an ab mat, you can also do the sit-ups simply on the floor. Good, that should be it. Now, what we have coming up is a longish workout. We've done this morning in Zoom. Only a handful of people were able to finish it because it gets very heavy very quickly. 2 movements, body weight only, push-ups and sit-ups, starting with 50 push-ups into 50 sit-ups, 40, 40, 30, 30, 20, 20, 10 and 10. That's a total of 150 push-ups. 150 sit-ups as well. You might be familiar with the benchmark workout, that's 150 sit-ups. You know what that feels like, but you might not have a lot of experience with what 150 push-ups feel like. I can kind of guarantee you that is harder, that is worse. The sit-ups is going to be the easy part today. So let's talk about the heavy push-ups. If you're going to do them as prescribed, we're going to do them on the floor. Standard, as always in CrossFit, we're starting with the arms fully locked out, the feet between the hands, and then we're going to bend the elbow, bring the chest to the floor and press back up. The only thing that's touching the floor is your chest, not your nose, not your hip, not your knees. If your push-ups look like this, meaning your elbows are not flaring out, we're not losing tension in the core, you're good to go. You should be able, in theory, to do at least 20 push-ups on the floor to kind of have the confidence to go for 150. If after 5 push-ups you already need to rest, please scale them down. How can you scale them down? Use an elevated surface. You can, for example, use a bench, a chair, a table, anything like this. Well, I'm curious what you're gonna do.
Arjo, join me.
I want to see the videos afterwards again. Good. Same thing applies. The hands are going to be just outside the shoulders. We're going to bend the elbow, bring the chest towards the chair, the bench, etc. And then we go.
What did he say?
He's going to use a 22-inch box, which probably makes sense. 22 centimeters, not inch. Good. That's your push-up variation. The higher you go, the easier the repetition, but that simply means you're going to move faster. If you want to go heavy and risk not finishing the workout, that's also okay. Means you're doing a lot of heavy push-ups. Second movement is the sit-up. If you have an ab mat, use it. The high end of the ab mat goes into the lower back. We're going to sit down in front of it. We're going to pull the ab mat right into the lower back. We're going to bring our heels together. The feet are touching, butterfly position. Then we're going to touch the floor in front of the legs and touch the floor behind the head. Coming back up, that is 1 repetition. You can use your arms, you can swing as much as you need, so you don't need to do them slow. We're not looking for, well, that burning sensation, we're looking for speed, so use your arms. If sit-ups are not an option, because you might not be able to do them without an ab mat, you can go for crunches instead. A little bit harder to judge. We're going to pull the knees up and then we're simply going to crunch up for all repetitions. If straight ab work isn't an option at all because of pregnancies or similar issues, use air squats instead, meaning you're going to have some time to rest the upper body, and we're simply going to go for air squats. For the air squats, feet are going to be under the shoulders. We haven't done a lot of leg work today. For the first set of 50s, you extended warm up, sitting down and come back up for 50 air squats. Now, we decided to keep the time cap very short, 15 minutes. 15 minutes for 300 repetitions total. That means you need to do 20 reps a minute if you want to finish this. Meaning you should be done with the round of 50 and 50 after how many minutes? Oh, trick question. After 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you should be done with the first 100 reps. If you're not, well, you've got 2 options. Either stick with your movement and not finish the workout, or make it a little bit lighter and keep moving fast. Both are fine. You're gonna get a good workout out anyways. Now, we've done a lot of pressing, so I'm assuming the shoulders are warm.
Yes.
We can go into this.
Yeah, no need
Then let's
to
talk.
do a test round.
No, I don't think we need a test round. But quickly on strategy, the round of 50 and 40 is more than half the work. So if you've done this, it kind of gets easy because the sets get smaller. But don't rush the 50 and the 40. You need to leave some energy in the tank. So for the push-ups, break them up early. How are you going to break them as an example?
6.
6. So guys are going to go for sets of 6 only. That is far, far away from what you can do in one set. Simply to give the arms some rest. So 6 repetitions, shake it out, 6 repetitions. Sets of 5 are good, sets of 3, maybe a little bit too small. If you're confident with push-ups, you can also try sets of 10 for as long as possible. So that's something you'll figure out as we go along. Yes?
Yes.
15 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups. Not going to be heavy breathing, but it's going to be plenty of burning. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes?
Let's
Good.
do it.
We'll find some banging music and then we're going to start in 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. You can see quick repetitions and quick rest. That's the key to success when it comes to high repetition body weight movements. It really helps if you're using the clock, just looking at the clock, seeing how far you are, how much time it cost you. And of course, don't forget to count, please. You don't want to do extra repetitions. Very good. I'm trying to talk a little bit less. It makes the counting easier for you. I don't want to throw around numbers. But you can see the reps still look exactly the same. We're approaching the 50 rep mark on the push-ups, and they're still as quick and as pretty as in the beginning. Quick reps, short break. Keeping the form on point. Very good. First 50 done here, but cat's push-ups are very quick. So if you're not yet there, don't despair. Keep working one rep at a time. Again, the first set of 50 is just to get started. The set of 40 is usually the worst. As we're approaching the 3-minute mark. Try to relax, stay away from failure. Don't push it too hard in the beginning. It's a long workout. Don't go to failure. When you feel you're slowing down, take a bit of rest, count to 5, do it again. We're 4 minutes in. Get here well ahead of the time cap. But we're only getting started. sticking to the same set, but the rest is getting a little bit longer here. The reps are slowing down. If that happens, don't force the set you set out to. If your last rep starts to get really shaky, stop early, take some rest. You want to keep your reps quick. Try making the set a little bit smaller here. Probably a good idea as we go along. And there's the 6-minute mark. 6 minutes in, 9 minutes to go. And there's another minute passed by, the 7-minute mark. We're approaching halftime. If you're just about to finish the set of 50 push-ups, you are right on time. If you're maybe even already finishing the sit-ups, you will make it if you don't slow down. Here's the halfway point, 7.5 minutes. I'm definitely running out of things to talk about, so you'll just have to suffer through this, 1 rep at a time. And stick to your sets and rest. You chose to do the workout. So many push-ups. Good news is when you're in a round of 30, you have done more than half the work. So it gets a little bit easier mentally, but physically it gets a whole lot harder as we're getting tired. Oh, very good job here. Keep it going at home. Don't stop, don't slow down. We still have 6 minutes to go, so plenty of time to do those repetitions. Every rep counts. You might not finish this, but we're gonna go as far as we can. Every rep makes you better. And we are 10 minutes in, 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to finish your workout. That's very good. Katarina here with 60 repetitions to go for just 4.5 minutes. Good, we're nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it going. By now you've been through the worst part. The burning won't get any worse, so simply keep moving. If you're doing just 1 rep at a time, that's fine. 1 rep, take a breath, and then another one. Every repetition brings you closer to the finish. Three minutes to go. And we're about to finish here at least. I'm curious if anybody was able to keep up with that speed. No matter which variations, also if you do the push-up on the chair, etc., it's still 150 repetitions. It's still a lot of work. So don't be shy to post those scores as well. And there it is in under 13 minutes. We've got to finish it here. I'm pretty sure there's still plenty of people working at home, so keep moving. If you're done, simply lie flat down. You deserve it. That was 300 repetitions. For everybody else, you got the last 90 seconds coming up. Try to sprint to the finish. I know it's hard. I know your arms are jelly, your abs are burning, maybe even cramping. But you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of people going through the exact same experience right now with you. So don't stop, keep moving. We've got 1:15 to go. That's one of those workouts you're gonna feel 2-3 days from now, wondering like, what did I do? Ah, yes. 150 push-ups, 150 sit-ups. Last minute, 60 seconds to go. Squeeze in some more repetitions. We need every single one.
Come on, guys. Oh, my arms. Oh, oh they're falling off.
Oh, good thing tomorrow's a holiday. You might take that as a rest day then. You have worked hard today. 30 seconds. If you're still moving, keep it going. Don't stop, ladies and gentlemen. We might treat this as an M-rep, and then it's just a question, how many reps can you squeeze in the last 20 seconds? Keep it going. Every rep matters. 15 seconds to go. And there we have the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, in 3, 2, 1, and time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it in terms of working out. If you just finished right now, do the math, figure out how many reps you did. We'll give you a second for that. Then, of course, we want to know how far you were able to take this. I think if you finish this, no matter in which variation, you can be very, very proud. That means you've been moving very, very fast. If you didn't finish it, it means you've been moving very heavy. So no matter how, you probably got a really good workout in. We're going to do some stretching. I guess the arms and the abs need a little bit of attention. So we're going to stretch it out, and then we're done for today.
Perfect.
On to you.
Okay, guys, if you have done already the math, please score it. I really want to know your scores and how your arms felt. I think for the sit-ups it was quite a resting period before you go to the push-ups, but at least for me, my shoulders, my triceps are a little bit fatigued. So we're going to stretch a little bit. First, you can go towards your wall and place the left arm with the palm facing not towards yourself, but towards the wall, and come really, really close to the wall with, if possible, the shoulder touching the wall, so that you get a nice stretch on your chest as well. That worked a lot for those push-ups. And just stay in this position. If possible, try to look towards your right side. Stay with completely extended elbow. And here you can feel how much your muscles worked actually. Now the pump gets more and more. Good, and shake it out, and we're going to switch. I'm going to show it now towards this direction. Place your right arm again completely straight, 90 degrees with the shoulder, the hand, and then try to go towards, to look towards the left side so that you get a good stretch on your chest as well. We stay in this position for a few more seconds, and then we're going to move on the floor. My arms. Now we're going to move on the floor. You can first go and kneel and sit down on your heels. We're going to cross the fingers, the palms facing on the opposite direction, and you're going to round your upper back. Try to place your head through the shoulders and make yourself as long as possible. Straight elbows. Now we're going to move, we're going to place the right arm exactly underneath your chest. Gently movements, straight arm, straight elbow, and place your left arm completely straight ahead in front of your head. We're going to stay in this position for a few seconds. You should feel a stretch on your shoulder, tricep as well, lat maybe too, depending where you're more stiff. Now you're going to place the left knee, so left arm straight ahead, left knee on, that's a good angle, exactly on the floor, and then you're going to move with your left arm facing towards the opposite direction, the palm facing the ceiling, but the knee stays in contact on the floor, and try to go with the palm as close as possible on the floor while maintaining the knee in contact with the floor. Slowly bring the arm again in front of your head, and we're going to switch, placing the right arm straight in front of your head, left arm exactly underneath your chest, and we're going to apply gently pressure with your body weight. Try to breathe normally, inhaling and exhaling. Slowly helps a lot with stretching. Now you can place the right knee next to you in contact with the floor, exactly next to the hip, and the right arm is going to open up on the side while maintaining the knee on the floor. As you are staying in this position, while breathing normally, try to bring the right arm closer and closer towards the floor. And slowly you can return your arm. Now exactly in this position we're going to go on the cobra, so you're going to bring the palms on the floor and close towards your body, and then you're going to bring the chest up, head goes facing towards the ceiling so that you get a stretch on your abs as well. That was a lot of sit-ups. You're definitely going to feel it tomorrow. Slowly we can return with on the heels, sitting towards on the heels, placing the head through the shoulders, just to give the abs a little bit of rest. And once again, we're going to go on the cobra position. Try to bring the hands even closer towards your body. And now we can also try to look a little bit on the right side. The arms stay completely straight again. Now we can move facing, looking on the ceiling on the left side. And go again in front, facing forward. And slowly we can bring the feet towards your hands. And slowly, slowly we can stand up again. I think that was enough for today. I didn't see any scores yet. So guys, please, when you're going to do this workout, let us know what you did and how it felt as well. Personally, for me, it was a lot of mental toughness, just staring on the floor the whole time and trying to push myself up. So I really want to know how you felt too. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's it. We might see you tomorrow morning at 7 if you're willing to get up on the holiday. If not, enjoy the holiday tomorrow. And we're going to close with a triple clap in 1, 2, 3. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.